All right, this is dubious code, and what I have here is a little Pygame game that just makes bubbles appear on the screen wherever I click. So here I'm holding down the mouse and I'm getting bubbles. The bubbles eventually kind of move and then they shrink away to nothing. I can also get a single bubble by clicking. There's a couple different settings I have, and I want to show you how I did this. So I have a window, I click it, I'm making bubbles that eventually shrink away to nothing. So we have our standard Pygame with a clock, making a display, we're setting it running. And then while it's running, we are putting it on a background. We are updating, making bubbles and moving them. And we have events, and we're updating display, and we have events. So what events do we need? Let's think about events to start with. Well, the only two events that I have is a mouse button down and a mouse button up. So the mouse button down tells me that I've started to click, and the mouse button up says I've stopped the click. And this is how it can keep happening when I have the click, when I'm holding the click down. And when this happens, I'm just setting a Boolean to true. And if that Boolean is true, I am instantiating a bubble from my bubble class, and then I am assigning, this gives it the mouse, the location of the mouse, so that's where I click. I give it the location, and I'm giving it a random size, and then I'm giving it, my bubble class has some attributes like velocity, acceleration, thickness, if I want it to shrink, how fast I want it to shrink, a color, and I'm appending those all to a list of bubbles that I've started up here. And then for that list of bubbles, it goes through and updates. It checks to see if they moved off the screen or shrunk away to nothing, and if so, it removes them from the list. And then it goes and displays for each of those bubbles. So let's look at our bubble class really fast. So my bubble is just a circle. So I'm displaying the bubble as a circle. So the circle has, I need a display screen, I need a color, a location, a size, and a thickness. Without a thickness, it would be a solid, it wouldn't be a bubble, it would just be a solid circle, which we can look at here. This is what happens if you take the thickness away, which is just a different kind of bubble. It's also a decent effect. Actually, I kind of like it better. This is, if you don't fill in a thickness or you set it equal to 0, then Pygame makes it filled in. The shrinking, the way I'm doing that is every time it updates, the size is decreasing by that shrink size. I could also make expanding bubbles in the same way. The location gets updated with location plus velocity, and the velocity gets updated with velocity plus acceleration. So this is why they're all kind of trending downward. So the bubble has certain attributes as a location, a size, a color, the thickness, velocity, acceleration, if it shrinks, and if it exists. And it's pretty simple. I am considering doing some stuff like, right now all these bubbles are a solid color, but I think if I put a circle inside of a circle, I could make, say, a white outline around a solid colored bubble. Might be kind of cool. I'd be interested if I could put any kind of shine on the bubble, like a bubble shine. I'm not quite sure how to do that, but it's probably possible. And the other thing I want to try is, right now I'm making the bubble as a circle. So the circle is always round. I'm curious if I make the bubble as an ellipse, if I could have some cool effects, like if the bubble, you know, bubbles get squished a little bit when they hit each other, or they bounce off of stuff. Another future update might be the bubble interacts with, you know, a solid wall. Anyway, this is dubious code. Thank you for watching.